instantly became an important figure in the game world, and he was not about to miss his chance. I spent the entire week before the ceremony in my suzerain's residence, and had plenty of opportunity to observe Bernard basking in the attention of other coordinators and influential players, condescendingly accepting their gifts and requests to put in a word for them to the Great One. Madonna did not like the premises provided to her by the priests, so she stayed with the coordinator instead, making him first among equals. Bending her head down to Bernard, the Great One was listening to him with a fleeting smile, responding something from time to time. However, her eyes followed my approach unswervingly. Even though I had had enough time to steel myself for this meeting, I still fell out of stride. Madonna noticed that and, smirking contentedly, averted her eyes. The enemy was defeated and could now be forgotten. I did not know whether that was the deal, but at least I could continue in peace. By the way, to the same extent that my master was demonstratively basking in the Creator's attention, he was just as demonstratively ignoring my approach. That was easy to explain. First of all, there was no way to know my future fate. Then, Bernard still retained his misconception that I was under his full mental control due to the activated Book of Lumpen. For that reason, I had been for a long time assigned to one of the least valuable categories in his listing of animate and inanimate property. Even though I was considered a slave without rights, I still knew I was remembered. Before the ceremony started, Bernard's loyal guard, the vampire Maltorian, handed me a looped anti-grav with light source so that the dear guests would not be bothered with my 100th level of darkness. I almost reached my goal when I noticed a completely impossible creature. The necromancer Lumpen was present in the hall for official ceremonies. Not in person, of course. His status of enemy of all life did not really help him move about the earth freely. Even the sanctuary would not fully protect him from being attacked by other players. Lumpen came to the meeting in the form of a hologram projected by a device hovering closely above the floor. The horrid, dark specter was looming over the other players, and even though the hall was chock full, there was almost a yard of empty space around Lumpen. Only the Viceroy kept the necromancer company, and now those two were talking quietly but urgently, ignoring the ceremony. Madonna had already been presented to the world. Most of the ceremony was behind us, so one could work on his own affairs without having to waste one's time dealing with the unworthy. Paladin Yaropolk. I kneeled, and Madonna's eyes settled on me again. The humming in the hall died down. As they say, curiosity is not a sin, but unsatisfied curiosity is a major headache. My peripheral vision seemed to indicate that even the Lumpen and the Viceroy put their conversation on hold, waiting for the outcome. We know of all the facts as you took part in the recent events. Having measured all your deeds undertaken for the sake of our return, and taking into consideration external evidence, we desire to fully give you your due and— Madonna paused and glanced at Bernard. The coordinator dispassionately waited for the conclusion of the statement, while those around demonstrated lamentable lack of restraint now and again. The woman did not hurry, enjoying the few tense moments as everyone fell silent. However, her sense of timing did not let her down. Turning towards me without extending the pause too much and ruin the moment, she finished, "We pronounce you guilty." The sentence seemed to nail me to the floor. What did that mean? Guilty? And of what? By your stupid and presumptuous actions, you jeopardized our reincarnation. You treacherously snatched the activation process from the hands of experienced players. Apparently, that was a hint about Zangar and his teacher. Madonna was getting more and more aggravated with each new accusation. You wasted time, which delayed our resurrection, and spurned help. You brought Lumpen back to this world. At this point, the woman jumped